Okay, I think we're live. What's up, everyone? How's it going? Welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. My name is Dylan, and thanks so much for coming by. Before this video gets started, if you're interested in becoming an Uber or Lyft driver...
What do you know about Tom from marketing?
Oh, he's a legend. He's amazing.
Oh, sorry. A video was playing in the background. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Rideshare Hub. I was like, who is talking in the background? But yeah, anyways, guys, welcome back to the video. I have a special guest with me. He's been on the channel a few times before. His name is Chris, and he runs a channel called Real Rideshare Stories. The channel is, I don't know, is it safe to say it's blowing up right now?
Yeah, you could pretty much say that.
Yeah, it's this guy's been hustling. He's been uploading videos like every day from the start, and now it's all about rideshare, and he shows actual rides that go on in the car. So why don't you introduce yourself very quickly before we get into the video?
All right. Well, thanks for the intro. My name is Chris. I'm sure if you've been watching the channel here on the Rideshare Hub, you noticed me already because I've been on a few videos. But yeah, my channel is called the Real Rideshare Stories. And what we do a little bit of tips and tricks for both drivers and passengers, kind of like the Rideshare Hub, but just a little bit. And then we do some bad driving compilations with what I see out on the road, how crazy it gets. And then also mostly what happens on actual rideshare rides. Just crazy conversations, drunk passengers. Today's video I just uploaded is what to do if passengers are trying to hook up in the back seat.
Basically anything and everything that happens inside the rideshare car. And showing actual footage. So today's video, guys, we're going over 11 scams that Uber and Lyft drivers face every day. In this video, you guys are super lucky to be watching this video because Chris actually has a video with over 25,000 views going over 3 Lyft and Uber scams. So today, for the past couple of weeks, Chris and I have been talking and coming up with 11 scams. These are pretty much all the scams that Uber and Lyft drivers might face. So if you're watching and you're an Uber or Lyft driver, these are things to look out for. And this is really important that you watch this video each and every scam, so you know that this does not happen to you, because people have tried to pull this on me before, and I'll be honest, like I've almost fell for some, and I actually, these things do happen quite a bit, so make sure to look out for them. And so without further ado, and also want to say, leave your questions down below at the end of the video, and maybe throughout, we're gonna be answering some questions that you guys have. So leave your best questions, and Chris and I are gonna go over them at the end. And obviously this is a live video, so feel free to leave your chat while this is going. And then if you're watching this on the replay, leave your comments down below and we'll answer them. So the first scam that Uber and Lyft drivers face is sometimes when you are driving for Lyft or for Uber and you get a ride request, your passenger will actually call you and pretend to be an employee of either Uber or Lyft. And I've heard this happen more on Lyft. So if you just drive for Uber, this might not happen as much, but if you're driving for Lyft, they're gonna call you and they're gonna ask you for your login information. They're gonna say something like, hey, this is a Lyft employee and we just wanna make sure that, I don't know, your account is running smoothly. Can you just send me like your login info? And this stuff is actually pretty tricky because it actually kind of does sound like it's a Lyft employee. So you might be, tempted to give them your information. However, all they're trying to do is just get in your info and try to steal your money, which I don't really even know how that's possible, but people out there, all they have to do is, know your login and your password. So definitely look out for that. If you ever get a call from somebody, just, don't ever give anyone your information ever. They don't need your information. They already have, what I'm talking about is a Lyft employee would already have your info. They can look at whatever they want. They're not going to need your password. So definitely never, ever give out your password or your login info. Have you ever had that happen to you, Chris?
I haven't had that where people tried calling me to say they're Lyft employees. But one thing it's not a scam, but it's something you should definitely watch out for is that when you're taking rides, and if you get a call, you could get a call during the ride from Uber or Lyft, and they'll actually check to see if you answer the phone or not. And that's one thing. It's not a scam, it's for safety. But when you were talking about that, that just popped up in my mind.
Yeah.
So I did want to bring that up. That does happen from time to time, and I haven't had that happen in a while. But other than that, no, I've never had anybody pretend to be Lyft employees.
Yeah.
But I have heard of it once or twice before.
So they call you to make sure that you're going to pick up the phone?
Yeah, they call you mid-ride just to see if you'll pick up the phone or not. So it's like if you pick up to answer or not.
Yeah. Do you know why they do that?
I think it's because they don't want you to answer the phone when you're actually giving rides. Safety reasons, I'm sure.
Okay, so it's in the middle of the trip. Okay.
Yeah, so after you already picked somebody up, they could call randomly at some point.
Gotcha. Yeah, I haven't heard too much about that one, but yeah, definitely look out for that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for people pretending to be Lyft employees. Oh yeah, and I was gonna say, if this does happen to you, all you have to do is just be like, yo, you're a scammer, I'm not gonna do that. And then you can still go to the pickup location and then wait your 5 minutes and they get the $5 or $6 cancellation fee. It's your ride. So if they're trying to waste your time, make them pay for the cancellation fee, because that is your time. So yeah, Chris, you're gonna do the next one.
All right, number 2, it's false reporting from passengers. Now this can be a range of a lot of different things. A false report could be, that you get dropped off at the place that they didn't say, or they want to do a stop on the way that's kind of out of the actual route itself. So then they say that you took a wrong route or you took too long. So they're trying to get back to the original estimated value. They're also trying to do false report could be that, the driver was falling asleep at the wheel, or they stole something, or they were bad in some behavior, whether it be like bad driving, cutting people off. And it could be just to try to get a free ride or get more for the ride than what they were going to pay for it if they allowed the full ride to happen.
Yeah.
And I've had a little bit of that. Mostly it was where somebody said a false report of where I was falling asleep behind the wheel.
Oh, really?
And yeah. And what ended up happening was I called right away, messaged the company back. I'm not going to say which company, but I messaged them right away and then called them right away. And they said, well, it's under investigation. There's nothing we can do right now. If I have the dash cam footage showing and they're like, all right, well, if we need it, we'll let you know. They ended up not needing it. I think 2 days goes by and they just say, oh, here for your trouble was $100. So they gave me $100 because they found out that these people were lying.
Interesting. Yeah. So yeah, this is probably the worst scam that's going on. Hopefully you'll never have to deal with this. This is I would probably say pretty rare, but if it does, you could potentially get deactivated. And literally it's just because that person wants a free ride. So this might happen on one of your longer rides, might even happen on one of your shorter rides. They're just gonna say, whatever, yeah, you were drunk or whatever. And this actually happened to rideshare driver Dustin too. He got deactivated from Lyft because of a false report. I think he had, I don't know the exact story, but he had some issue with the passenger and she came back days later and reported him. And then, I don't know, I guess he didn't drive. He drove mostly for Ubers, or he drives mostly for Uber. So he wasn't too bothered by it. But yeah, it does happen. And hopefully, like I said, it doesn't happen. What you want to do is just try to beat lift or try to beat that person to the punch. So if you ever have a passenger who's like kind of, you know, angry or something, you just sense something wrong with them, just contact Lyft or Uber first, so that way you can try to avoid it.
Yeah, definitely.
By the way, guys, if you guys are just joining us, I'm here today with Chris from Real Rideshare Stories. His link to his channel will be in the description. So definitely go over there and subscribe to his channel so you can get, you know, the full picture of rideshare. So on the Rideshare Hub, you have your best tips and tricks. And then on Real Rideshare Stories, you can get real trips, real recordings of trips that are actually going on. And he posts almost every single day. So make sure to go and subscribe to him.
Thanks.
Yeah, and check out the merch stores. Gotta get the plugs in. But yeah, let's do a couple quick shout outs. Shout out to Rick Reviews. What's up? Crypto Time. Ice Cream Lady. Mitch. What's up, Mitch? Henry Dogan. Dustin is driving. What's up? Dustin is driving. Dustin, how are you doing, man? I just shouted you out. I said about how you got deactivated. So Dustin says he's got 12 scams.
Trying to one up, huh?
Trying to one up us. What's up, backer? Oh yeah, he's gonna bring out the Smakovich. I don't have the Smakovich, so I'm gonna add the Smakovich to the merch store soon. All right, guys. So number 3, the third scam that Uber and Lyft drivers face is that sometimes your passengers are going to cancel mid-trip. Fortunately, I've never had this happen to me, but I've seen a video on this. I don't know if what's that one guy's name? Is his name, who's the guy, Ryan? Is it Ryan?
Oh, Ryan is driving, yeah.
Yeah, so he has like almost 1 million subscribers, but he's like really talented and creative. He had a passenger who she just straight up canceled like 2 minutes into the trip, and she was like drunk trying to get a free ride. And that girl actually started hitting him. It was like this whole crazy video. I think it was like one of his first viral or biggest viral videos. But basically some people are just really cheap and they're not very smart. So they try to cancel in the middle of the trip to they probably will tell Uber like, oh, I don't know, I had to get out of the ride. Or because Uber and Lyft pay per mile and per time, they're just trying to, you know, get free miles and free time for the rest of the trip. So that's one to look out for. Has that ever happened to you, Chris?
No, it hasn't happened to me, thankfully, either. But
yeah,
when I did post that 3 scam video, that was one of the big scams that I had. And I've had plenty of people who commented below saying that they had that happen to themselves.
Yeah.
So it does happen. And, you know, the easiest thing to do when that happens, pull your car over at a safe space, of course. I mean, what you do is up to you, but I'm going to give what Uber and Lyft would say to do.
Yeah.
Do it at a safe space and kick them out of the vehicle. If they refuse, call the cops, get them on it, and let them take care of it.
Yeah, definitely. And at that point, when they cancel your trip, they're no longer your passenger. So if they're refusing to get out of your car, just tell them, hey, you're pretty much a stranger sitting in my car. You're no longer my passenger at all. So, you know, tell them to get out of your car. Dustin's driving says, Smakovich that like button. Yeah, everyone, leave a thumbs up on the chat. Leave a thumbs up for Chris. Yeah, Giovanni, what's up, man? All right, so I think it's your turn. Are you on number 4 now?
Yep. Number 4 scam is trying to fit more passengers in than what's allowed in a car. Now, I've had this happen numerous times where you literally have to tell them, no, you can't take the ride, or you got to do something creative where it's like, you know, I only have four seats allowed in the car. You either have to get an XL or you got to call another Uber or Lyft. So at that point, usually they'll get mad or they'll be like, oh, well, the other drivers let us. That doesn't matter, because if you fit more people in your car and you get pulled over for some reason, the cops will ticket you. They're not going to ticket anybody else. They'll ticket you. They might ticket other people who are driving without seatbelts or whatnot, but you're going to get the main ticket. And that's probably, you know, you could get like unsafe, driving, too many passengers. I mean, you could get multiple tickets that could cost you quite a bit of money.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I first started, I accidentally let that happen once before. And then once I realized, yeah, that's something you shouldn't do, then I haven't allowed that to happen. How about yourself?
Yeah, I think I've been pretty fine with getting normal amount of people, like normal number of people in my car. I was just like thinking of a quick, like when I was in high school, actually, I was on the other end of it and it wasn't in an Uber or a Lyft, but we were all like messing around and we were in my buddy's car and we had like way more people in the car and I wasn't wearing a seatbelt and I got a ticket, but the driver also got a ticket too. And he actually got a ticket for each person that wasn't wearing a seatbelt. So it was like, I think he got like 6 tickets total. It was like ridiculous. So this is just, I'm just sharing this. Obviously it was a big mistake on my part, you know, just messing around, whatever. But if you're, you know, I would never do that in a Lyft or an Uber. But if you're taking more people, that's an incentive for you to not do that because yeah, you will get a ticket or, you know, you might get your driver's license suspended and you might get deactivated from Lyft or Uber. Yeah, and also just want to clarify that the reason this is a scam, and you already touched upon this, Chris, but the reason it's a scam is because they're trying to pay for an Uber X or a Lyft, whatever, normal, I guess, rather than the XL. So, or paying for 2. So even if you drive for XL, they might try to bring in like 8 people rather than just getting 2. So they're trying to basically scam Uber or Lyft to get a cheaper fare.
One thing I want to add to where you just said that, if you do drive XL for either Lyft or Uber, and somebody tries to do that where they order a Lyft regular or a Uber X and they try to fit, you know, 5 or more people in the vehicle,
yeah.
You can contact Uber or Lyft and they'll do it to the actual XL price then.
Yeah. A good way to avoid this, guys, and this is just a good rule of thumb, I guess, in general, is that I don't know, your like logo's popping up. I don't know what that was, but yeah, is to never start the trip until everyone's in, everyone's has their seatbelts on, everyone's ready to go. So if people are getting in and you just, oh, I'll start the trip right now, and then all of a sudden they have an extra person, now you're like, now you need to cancel and they can rate you, and it's just bad. They can report you. But if you never accept the ride, then they can't report you or anything. So yeah. All right, the next one is, oh yeah, they ask you to drop them off somewhere else, then report you for dropping off in the wrong location. You actually kind of said that one, but this one, guys, so this is really important to never, if somebody asks you to go to a different location, they get in the car and say, oh, you know what, can I go this place instead? You know, that's totally fine, but they just need to change the destination in the app. That way Lyft and Uber can track that ride. If you just say, oh yeah, you know, don't worry, I can take you wherever, they can retroactively go in and tell Uber or Lyft, oh hey, he dropped me off in the wrong place, you know, the driver got lost, can I have a refund? And this is actually super common. So I would say, yeah, don't change the destination unless it's in the app. So, and then also on Lyft Shared, in Uber Pool, you can't change the destination at all. So you're basically kind of stuck taking them wherever they want to go if you're in Uber Pool or Lyft Shared. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say for that one. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, one thing to watch out for is if you get in or if somebody gets in and they ask you to take a certain route, which could be outside the way you're going, yeah, you're going to get paid for time and mileage. But if it's out of the way or something happens, that's kind of the same thing where they could call up and say you took the wrong route And if it was longer, say you wanted to go on the thruway or the freeway or something, and that's the way the map was telling you because that's the quickest, but they told you to take a different route and it took longer. You know, you're putting more time and stop and go versus just getting there as quick as you can. So they could call in and say that there was an issue with the ride that way. So it kind of touches with the false report, but it also kind of does just talking about the route itself.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely watch out for that one, guys. Yeah, guys, someone said, can I ask a question? Yeah, ask your questions. We're going to do Q&A at the end. Everyone leave a thumbs up on the video. It helps a lot. Thumbs up if you can hear me and if you can hear us well. Yeah, so we can know. I don't know. Sometimes people can't hear us. So leave a thumbs up if you can hear us. And all right, so the next scam that's going on is, oh yeah, that's your turn, right?
Number 6, yep. It's trying to do a cash ride. So one of the big things with Uber and Lyft is that it's cashless. So you don't take cash for rides. They want to do everything cashless. So it was just the safety feature and a number of different features within the program itself. Also, they want to make sure they get paid too because they do take the percentage. But you'll get people who actually will come in the vehicle that want to pay in cash for a ride, whether they ordered the ride or not, whether they want to get you again at a different time or not. And this is something that you really want to watch out for. You could take it, but you really don't want to because it's actually against the terms of services. So if you're caught doing this, you could get deactivated from one of the platforms or both, depending on how they find out. Also, if you get into an accident transporting people for cash, it's all going to be on you. And insurance companies could just flat out say, you know, you were doing pay for hire work. You should have your own insurance for this or upgraded insurance. So we're not paying for it. And also, because when you are in an actual Uber or Lyft ride, they provide insurance through Uber or Lyft. So that helps with making sure that you're not in a problem or like it cost for the ride or cost for an issue.
Yeah. So with doing cash rides, there's three main reasons why you don't want to do cash rides. One is because it's dangerous. Uber and Lyft there's no way for them to track who the person is. If this person doesn't have a phone or they don't have Uber or Lyft or they don't have a credit card to sign up for Uber and Lyft, you probably don't want to be taking this person anyway. So that's reason number one. Number two is for liability. If you get into an accident, like Chris said, you don't have a commercial license. So you're going to end up paying for all the damage. Your insurance is not going to cover that. If you're taking somebody, the reason why insurance won't cover it is because you're taking somebody in exchange for payment. Usually you're fine because Uber and Lyft will pay for that. But Uber and Lyft won't pay for that if it's a cash ride because in their heads, you weren't even taking anyone in the first place. And then the third reason, I guess, security. I forgot what the third reason was. But yeah, it's just not safe in general. I don't know. I usually have 3 reasons why you don't do cash rides, but I forgot. Those are the main 2, though. Just keep those ones in mind. If you ever get somewhere like your passenger wants to, I've had it a lot where a passenger wants to go to a cafe or something, and they'll be like, "Oh, do you want anything to drink?" I mean, sure, technically they're giving you something, or maybe they just leave you a big cash tip for you to go wait for them while they're going shopping. I don't know, whatever. That's fine if, you know, everything's through the app and they just want to say, here, you know, here's $20, I'm going to run in, you know, just wait for me. Yeah, that's fine. That's not literally like, that's just basically you don't want to run into them giving you money for the ride. But if they're just doing it for you to, you know, you to wait or go to the drive-thru or whatever, that's usually fine. So yeah, just wanted to touch on that. Okay, the next one is, I haven't had this done to me, but I know the Rideshare Guy made an article about this, but it's the fake $100 bill scam. So basically what happens is, I'll keep this one pretty brief because I don't know too much about this one, but you know, this happens a lot in like retail or you know, just in general, like at gas stations or liquor stores and stuff. But it's also happening now in Uber and Lyft, is that somebody will try to give you they'll give you a fake $100 bill. And this won't happen if you don't take cash rides in general, but you know, whatever, be on the lookout for this one. If somebody will give you a fake $100 bill and be like, hey, can you drive me, you know, 5 minutes? I'll give you $40. I only have 100 though. Can you just give me $60 change? And then you'll be like, oh, sweet, $40 to go like what, 2 minutes? Which in your head, you're already thinking, okay, this is kind of sketchy because it's a cash ride, but whatever. Say, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't ever do it, but yeah. So, but if you do, just what they're trying to do is just get free $60 and a free ride. And then you're just, you know, in the morning, you realize it's a fake $100 bill. So yeah, that's that one. Chris, do you want to cover number 8?
Yeah. So number 8 is passengers getting in the wrong car. It's not too much a scam, but where the scam would be is if they purposely get in the wrong car. Because I'll have people, when I go to pick up people in bar districts, they come up to the car and they'll be like, oh, is this ride for this person or whoever? And then what they'll end up doing is they'll realize that it's the wrong one. But where the scam actually occurs is where if you say, hey, are you John or are you Ashley or whoever? And they're like, oh, yeah, that's me. And then they'll get into the vehicle and go wherever they're going. And maybe even what they could do, if they're really smart, is they'll say, oh, I put in the location wrong. Can you actually take me to this spot and update it in either in the app or just take me to that spot instead? So that's where you need to look out for. It's definitely a problem. And the one thing that you can do to combat that, or a couple things, is instead of asking if they are who they are, ask them who they're looking for, who their driver is. And if they say your name, you know, that's a tip off. And then when you hit start ride, ask them where their location is that they're going. So you can just kind of double check that to make sure you are with the right passenger and the right passenger's with you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, the main thing is just asking them what their name is rather than assuming that you have the correct passenger. So that's probably the biggest, this is probably the biggest scam, I would say, that's going on. And this is where things kind of get dangerous, is that if somebody gets into your car and you just accept them without knowing if they're the correct passenger, yeah, it's not tracked through the app or anything. So yeah, cool. All right, what number are we on? Number 9?
Number 9, yeah.
Okay, is that me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting tired of talking. These long videos, I just like, guys, leave your questions down below. I want to answer a couple questions at the end. Or if you have anything right now. Real Rideshare, he says, always ask your name. That's correct. Say, what is your name? And then, yeah, like you said, I actually didn't think about that, but you can say, what driver are you looking for too?
Yeah, either way, where you're not giving out the information for either the passenger or the location, because otherwise somebody could just pick up on that if they're quick and just be like, yep, that's me, and get in.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, one real quick thing. It's just a lot of you just said dangerous too. You know, that's what happened with the girl in South Carolina.
Yeah.
Somebody who posed, and that's the most horrible thing. But I mean, it's just one way where you want to make sure that you're safe, and in both passenger and driver safety, making sure the right people are actually paired the right way.
Yeah. And just to like hit home on this one, you know, I take Uber and Lyft quite a lot as a passenger. One, to get, you know, material for this YouTube channel, and to get more of a better, I guess, more rounder experience for driving as well. I don't think I've ever had a driver ever ask me what is my name. They just always let me in, and they just assume that I'm the correct passenger. When in reality, I could just be, you know, Joe Schmo just getting in a random car. So like, I would just tell you guys that hardly anyone out there is actually asking passengers what their name is. They're just always assuming. So don't be that person. Be the exception that's going out of your way to make sure it is the correct person. Okay, so scam number 9, this one happens quite a bit too, is that passengers say that they'll tip you through the app. But not only will they say, I mean, that happens a lot and then they just never do, you know, but sometimes they'll say, you know, oh, hey, can we pull over at the liquor store? And then they'll tell you, oh, hey, can you go buy me something? And then I'll just pay you through the app, like through a tip. I don't have cash or a credit card or something. I had one kid, he asked me to buy him cigarettes or rolling papers or something. And I think he was underage too, like, because in California, you have to be 21 now. I think the kid was like 18 or 19. And he's like, oh, can you go to the liquor store and buy me rolling papers? You know, I'll tip you through the app. And I'm like, bro, heck no. I'm not leaving you in my car, first of all, by yourself. And then second of all, I'm not buying you an under, you know, pretty much a minor, I guess, under 21 rolling papers. And then number 3, I don't trust that you're going to pay me through the app. So like, there's just so many problems wrong with that one. But yeah, that's another. Have you ever run into that?
Nothing where people ask me to buy something. I've never actually had that happen.
Okay.
So that's, I mean, obviously anybody who's younger than the age of what they want to get, you know, they're going to try and ask anybody to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, one is, yeah, if you ever got caught with that being illegal or distributing to minors or something, that could definitely be a real problem.
Yeah. That's just illegal in general. So, all right, you want to take over number 10?
Yeah, number 10 is Lyft reps. It's not exactly a scam, but it's something you want to watch out for.
Yeah, just want to preface this that this is because people in my last video were like, how is that a scam? That's not a scam. Okay, guys, this is technically not a scam, but yeah, look out for this.
And it's where there's Lyft reps that are using Uber platform as passengers, and they'll come in the vehicle and then try to recruit you to drive for Lyft as well.
Yeah.
I had that happen. I actually just posted a video of that happening probably about a week or 2 ago. So if you want to check that out and kind of go through. Now, I drive for both. So he really didn't have anything there, but he was talking about it either way. He was probably new and just trying to go through. So that does happen, and it's something to look out for. But anybody could pose as anything, and this is where it'll actually become a scam, is that anybody can pose as another person and try to ask for your information. So they could pose as Lyft reps and try to get you to sign up for driving for Lyft, and they'll just steal your information. Maybe they get your name, your address, your phone number, could get your social security number. So always be aware that when you sign up for one of these companies, whether it be Lyft or Uber, don't sign up unless you're at an actual hub or on the website itself, and it's actually uber.com or lyft.com. Or clicking a referral link of somebody that you know, or clicking the link in the description below.
Yeah, definitely. Description below, guys. Sorry, I was reading a text.
You missed your own plug.
Yeah, I think whatever. Okay.
But yeah,
we're almost done. So leave your questions in the live chat. If you're on your phone, it's going to be here. And if it's on or here, I don't know. And then if you're on desktop, it's going to be down below. We're going to do 5 minutes of Q&A at the end of the video after number 11. Number 11, guys. Actually, do you want to cover this one? Because I feel like you brought this one up to me.
Okay. And I noticed there was a couple of comments too with Surge, which we'll talk about more so in a little bit, but we'll talk about what the scam actually is with Surge. So there's apps out there that passengers or people can get where it shows what surge areas are. And then passengers can know too if they normally drive or if they normally hail Uber or Lyft, and for some reason it's a lot higher than what it normally is. What they can do is they'll drop a pin just outside the surge zone, probably using one of these apps that's showing the surge, which is closest to them. And then what they'll do is they'll say, oh, I put in the wrong pickup location. I'm actually located here, which is within the surge zone. And then they'll try to get you to go there and actually pick them up where you won't actually get the surge done at that point.
Yeah.
So that can be pretty big depending on the location too, because usually surge will be at a certain percentage. But with Lyft, with prime time, it'll actually be specifically edged out where it could be 100, 200, 300% more. And then just on the other side of the block, it could be a normal rate. So it's definitely something you really want to watch out for. And then what ends up happening is if you call up Uber or Lyft, they'll actually say, oh, there was no surge at that time. So you'll be screwed out of that surge pricing.
Yeah. Pretty much. All right, guys, those are the 11 scams that Uber and Lyft drivers face every day. Make sure to go back and watch the whole video, or if you're already at the end, you probably already watched the video, but make sure you know each and every one of these scams so that this doesn't happen to you if you're a driver or if you're thinking about becoming a driver. So right now, this is for the live audience, but if you're watching this on replay, then you can just listen along. We're gonna do some Q&A. And actually, if you're watching this on replay, leave your questions down below and I'll go back and answer them once the video is done or once you leave your comment. So let me just pull up my questions here. So leave your questions down below, guys. We're gonna do a quick couple of Q&A. Let's see.
One thing I do want to address that I'm looking at is Mitch, where he said he was on the fence of joining Rideshare because of the stories.
Yeah.
Mitch, if you haven't checked out my channel yet, check it out. Let me tell you, I've been doing this for a number of years. Dylan, you've been doing on and off for a little while too.
I've been part-time for a year or two.
Yeah, and I've drive almost exclusively at night, and seriously, I've had only a few problems that are really, really, really big problems, or things that needed reporting or issues like that. For the most part, it's I would say about 99.9%. There's nothing that happens. Usually a lot of the rides are, you're not even talking to the passenger because they put in their earbuds or something. The stories that I have on there are usually just pretty crazy conversations, and you never know what you're going to hear or listen to. And then also just what's happening with just a whole different type. So Mitch, if you're on the fence, you know what, give it a try and see how you like it, and then go from there. Because if you don't try it, you always wonder. But if you do try it, it is a lot of fun. I have a good time doing it. And Dylan, I'm sure you do as well when you get out there.
Yeah. I just want to say, even if you look at my channel, most of my videos are very positive, and I personally believe, I know there's a lot of other YouTubers out there that like to complain a lot. Or just people just like to complain in general. I personally think that driving for Uber and Lyft is a great opportunity. That's why I'm making videos about it. I would say, 99% of the time, you're going to get great rides. Maybe a couple rude or, I don't know, maybe not so nice passengers, but that comes in just daily life. And then every once in a while, you're going to get a passenger that's bad. I mean, it's not all the time. I mean, I like to drive during the day to try to avoid, late night people. So it's even less if you drive during the day. But Chris, who drives at night, says that, there's not that many issues. So always keep your doors locked. Ice Cream Lady says, always keep your doors locked. Yeah, that's a good one too. Keep your doors locked for extra safety, and then rolling down your window and asking them what their name is. Do you think 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. with destination filter is a bad time? Will I even get any rides Miami area? What do you think about that, Chris?
What was the question?
If
I'm trying to find it.
If someone's trying to use destination mode at 2 or 3 a.m. in Miami, are they going to get any rides?
You know what? Okay, so I drive in Buffalo, New York, and sometimes in Niagara Falls. Our county has maybe about or shy of 1 million people. Miami-Dade County has, I think I think has maybe like 3.5 million or something, like a lot of people. 2, 3 in the morning, you're probably going to get a lot of rides, even on the destination filter. It just depends though where you're going and where you are. They try to match rides that are going similar to where you are. But I mean, Miami is always hopping, especially South Beach. I mean, you can literally go from night to breakfast in an instant. So
yeah, from like 4 to like 5, 6, 7.
yeah. So destination filter, if you're out at that time, when I turn it on, a few times I get rides going in my destination, but not always. It's kind of going to depend on where you are located, where you're going, and maybe the distance. Because once you start getting closer, you know, there's probably not too many rides that are going maybe in the same direction you're going.
Yeah.
Or that's in the general vicinity.
Yeah, definitely. Harsh Kara says, also another question, Rideshare Hub. Oh, this is for me. I used your referral to get the stereo app. I think you said I won't get into a wait list since I joined with your referral, but I got an email said I have to wait 30 days. Yeah, so if you guys don't know what stereo is, it's an app that pays you to play music in your car while you're driving for Uber and Lyft. Pretty cool company. Yeah, I had I guess a brand deal with them. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. They sponsored a couple of my videos and, you know, whatever, helped me make a couple videos. And they gave me my own referral code, and they said, you know, whoever signs up, we'll pay you X amount of money for. I basically signed up. I don't know if it was because of me or whatever, but they basically said, you know, stop telling people to sign up because they were getting too many people signing up. And so if you sign up using my referral code now, I don't even think you'll get a bonus anymore because they basically told me to take my referral codes off. So you can still sign up with them. I think they're, you know, legit, but I'm not getting any kickback or anything from that. Just FYI. But they're a really cool company. I would try them out. Beacon of Light Drivers says Buffalo is amazing. Moving on up with the Monvilles says I was on the waiting list. Yeah, I don't know. I think they were getting so many people that they just threw everyone on a giant waiting list, and I don't know. You can see if you guys get approved. Bakr Niskat said he made $420 with stereo in the past 2 months. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, you can make an extra couple, maybe $200-300 a month. That's what I've heard doing stereo. But I've also heard that like people don't really like the music, so like I don't know. It's all like underground artists. But yeah. All right, guys. If you have any more questions, I think we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah, I see Backer. He says, what about if passengers give you direction, not let you follow the map in your phone? You can do that. I kind of touched on that a little bit ago with one of the scams. It's something that you want to watch out for. If they seem shady or whatnot, you can just say, hey, I got to go this route. Most of the time, though, it's going to be okay. It's not going to be a problem because Uber and Lyft track you by mileage and time, and that's how you get paid. If somebody wants to go to a certain way or a certain route, as long as it's not really out of the way from that route, then I don't think it's going to be a problem. And if you have a dash cam, if there's any problems, you can always try and submit that video to Uber or Lyft to review, and then get paid the right way.
Definitely. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. These are the 11 scams that Uber and Lyft drivers face every day. Again, if you, if you're just seeing Chris for the first time, make sure to head over to his channel. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. I know you guys can do it. He can get there. I don't know. Hopefully by this weekend. What do you? That
would be awesome.
500 or something?
Yeah, just shy of that.
Yeah. So, go ahead over to his channel. Make sure to give him some love. Subscribe to him. Watch all of his videos. There's only 400 of them. Yeah, give this video a huge thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And subscribe so you know whenever I post a new video on Uber or Lyft. And do you have anything else to say, Chris?
It was a great time hanging out with you, and I hope this helped other people realize that people do try to scam, whether it be them scamming to try to get a lower ride where they're thinking they're only affecting Uber or Lyft, but they're actually affecting your bottom line too. And it's just something that you really want to make sure you know and understand, so you're on the forefront versus somebody else who's not as well equipped with that and losing out on money.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, I actually don't know. My computer's frozen, so I don't know how I'm gonna end this live stream. I might just have to turn off my computer. It's like my mouse is frozen, so I don't know. Actually, you want to talk to them for a second? I'm gonna get my mouse. Just I don't know. Talk about
the channel or something. All right.
Wait. How about your craziest highlighted experience driving for Uber and Lyft?
The craziest highlighted experience, there's a few, but if I really have to stick with one, it's one where I wasn't able to have the dash cam footage because I didn't have my dash cam at this point. But it's always the one that comes to mind when people ask this. And it was where I picked up a few passengers. They were at a bar. It was like a Monday or Tuesday night on a holiday. So the one woman was absolutely obliterated, drunk. And it was only a few-minute ride, so it was all right. It wasn't a problem for me. But she just started, or somebody said something where she got triggered, and she just started yelling but first she was getting louder and louder to the point where she was yelling in my car. Yeah. And I have a Jeep Grand Cherokee, and so it's a pretty decent size, but she was still yelling. And there was a certain point where I'm like, I knew she was going to get physical. And oh yeah, like you could just tell the way she was, the way she was talking and everything. She was about to get physical. And I looked at the map and it was like right down the street. So I'm like, I'm getting you there as quick as I can and getting out of there. So at least I finished that ride only because it was that close of a distance. Otherwise I would have pulled over and tell him to get out.
Yeah.
But surely she was walking up the driveway with another person and started smacking them all over the place. So it was a pretty unique experience. That was definitely the one that comes to mind where it was probably the craziest thing. But there were definitely some other crazy things. So now I have the dash cams, so make sure you check my channel out. And also, if you guys have any crazy stories, you can record yourself, send it my way, and maybe we can feature you on my channel as well too. Yeah.
I have no idea. I'm just gonna have to turn my computer off and then hope that it ends. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining. And yeah, all right. I'll see you all next time. All right, bye guys. Hopefully. Oh wait, no. Did it go?
We are still live.
I know. I'm trying to turn. Okay, bye.